what we're doing is not weird. We're trying to be our very best selves. We're not too proud to say that there is a lot of room for growth, that there's room for growth. And sometimes we need to learn to do things differently.
No. Ooh, that's better, right, babe?
Yeah!
Yeah. She founded an architectural concrete company.
He founded a $100 million clothing company.
She took the world by storm as a social media star.
He took the world by storm as a famous serial entrepreneur.
Together we started a business.
And had babies.
Now we're figuring out the best ways to do both.
Join us as we learn from other entrepreneurs going through the same life struggles.
As they share their life hacks about success, love, kids.
And everything in between.
Listen carefully and never forget this. You are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. What the new year brings to you depends on what you bring to the new year. Let's make this year blessed and amazing.
Welcome to the Pretty and Punk podcast. My name is Dan Caldwell, and I'm here with my beautiful wife,
Ildiko Ferenczi.
and we have another great podcast for you guys. We're right here on the cusp of New Year's, so we got New Year's resolutions and all kinds of things going on.
We took a break from the marriage series, but we can almost add this as a bonus to that. But I'm so excited about this topic. Did you want to talk on it a little bit, I'll come back in?
So we'll be back on the divorce proofing your marriage series next week. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is part of it. This is. It still could be considered, if you're listening to that series, it can still be considered along the same lines.
Yeah, definitely. Because this can build or break not only your marriage, but this is so important for you to investigate today and start changing your life if any of this is relatable. But before we jump into that,
well, before we jump into that, I was going to ask you. Before we jump into it real quick. I just wanted to ask you before we get to to that part of the show. Where have you made any New Year's resolutions? We should have talked about that, but
I think with this topic, I have, but then I decided to change it.
Change it?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't.
Well, because I felt like it was selfish stuff, and now knowing what I know now, it's prepping myself for something bigger.
Well, I was going to tell you, I think our New Year's resolutions this year should be very specific, and
it is.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good because I wanted it to be more specific. I think last year my resolutions were a little loose, and this year they're very specific, and so. I think that's important for anybody making New Year's resolutions out there.
I really feel like this episode is going to help you because it might just be something like getting fit which is important, but I feel like there's something more important that you need to fulfill starting today.
Yeah, I mean, I think the kind of the loose versions are I want to, we're still walking. I want to walk my faith closer to God. I want to try to be better at that. I also want to, of course, work on being a better husband. I'm a constant work in progress, and but I want to read the Bible this year, and so I'm really going to work on doing that. That's one of my New Year's resolutions. And even though this isn't like a straight Bible podcast, but I think it's important, and to me, I've read parts of it all my life. I've read it the whole thing one time, but it's the best self-help book you can ever read.
100%.
And we'll quote from it all day. Every great self-help person quotes from the Bible all the time. Yeah. And there's just so much to be learned from the Bible. But also, and of course, I have a fitness goal. I'm going to get abs this year. So I'm bringing the abs back.
Yeah.
I'm bringing them.
Yeah.
I know
I'm going to be sharing
that.
I'm going to be sharing that stuff with you guys through the year. I've been kind of keeping it to myself, but when I talk to people in our community, like they don't have time to go to the gym. And I have a lot of tips and tricks on how to look amazing just in your living room, babies on your back, jumping all over the place. I have all the secrets because life is different when you have kids. You can't just go to the gym. That is a luxury now. You're not single anymore. It's different. So I have all the tips and tricks. And then also I will link an amazing way that the kids and I have been reading the Bible with Mike Schmidt, and it's pretty viral because he makes it so easy. And I'm gonna link that for you guys because he holds you accountable and you do it. Bible in a year.
As long as you get up every day and do it.
Yeah, Bible in a year.
And he explains it. So
it's so good, you guys.
He just does it really well.
Yeah. So Dan's gonna start this year. And I'm just gonna start again because I think the best way to do it is when you do it together. Like I want the kids involved, but it's just been a crazy year. But I think this year, if we do it as a family,
I'd be like, hey, have you listened to today? And you're like, yeah, I already listened to it.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna do it again with the kids. How many times my mom read it, the Bible so many times, backwards, forwards, every single way. And there's no harm in that. So, but before we jump into the podcast.
Hey guys, we hope you're enjoying today's episode of the Pretty and Punk podcast. And if you are, and you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. It just takes a second. It means so much to us because it really helps the podcast get out there to more listeners like you guys. And if you know anybody it might help and you can send it to them, we really appreciate that too.
We also love and appreciate your reviews. Even the babies look forward to them every day. If you share this episode on social media today, don't forget to tag us. We want to celebrate you because we know it's not easy being a parent in business, and the way that you juggle things makes you a superhero. That's worth a shout out. Together, we have a community of our personal followers as well, and we just want to put it out there. We want to show everybody that this juggle is possible, and you are our family, and we're so proud and grateful to have you a part of this family. So don't forget, all the links are below in the show notes. And thank you again. And let's get back to the show. I need the ones, the people that will thrust me into my destiny and my family and my partner. When people don't see the purpose on your life, it will limit you. And this is a very dangerous thing. You need to start taking inventory of your surroundings, where you spend your time, because it could be poisoning you or it could be enriching you and giving you everything that you need to fulfill your God-given destiny. And you may not wait, I'm not that special. I don't have a God. Of course you do. We all have a purpose. We all have a purpose. We were chosen. Even just being born, conceived, do you even realize how many billions of other little, what they're called, you have to fight off to win? Of course you have a destiny. Of course you have a God-given destiny. And on this path to make it back to heaven, you have to fulfill maybe one, but I feel like there's several things we have to accomplish in this life. And if you're surrounded by people that are cynical and gossiping and just not living the life, or even seeing, or just pulling you towards mediocrity rather than greatness, you need to take a quick look around and leave that circle and get into the circle that's going to catapult you, hold you accountable, and get up. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's read the Bible today. You need to be doing a better job. You need to be doing this, that, and the other. Not in a negative way, but in a loving and kind way with other people that have the same mindset at you, that have the same goals, strengthening your faith, strengthening your marriage, raising children that are going to fulfill their God-given destiny. And of course, a business that is honest and
growing and thriving, right. and so it's not only your walk with God, but also when you are surrounding yourself.
But he has to reflect in everything you do, including your business. How do you say like a faith-centered, you're not a crook, you're honest, you're helping people.
Well, that's a given. I mean, that's
some people are surrounded by people that are crooks because they're bringing in money. But you have to invest, just and look at the people around you. They may not be good for you. They may be bringing you back or bringing you
Absolutely.
down. I mean, we witnessed some people this year we don't personally know, but people know this person, and he was a crook stealing from people. And we all thought he was a great person.
I would like to believe that.
I don't want to talk about it too much.
I know. I just like to believe that people, his heart was in the, he wasn't trying to do that to people. But
it's scary. It's scary to see how many people through this journey that nobody stuck up to this. I don't even know this person, but the story makes me sad, and it makes me think, how could nobody have held him accountable? How did somebody let the evil forces take over and go too far?
Well,
why? This is the thing. This is why you need to examine your circle and make sure that people hold you accountable. I'm not saying that you're going down a bad road, but if you hang around with people that are going down a bad road, there's a good chance you can also go down that bad.
Somehow you're getting pulled down that road.
Somehow you're going, it's so magnetic that it's going to pull you down. And even if you say, oh, well, they're bringing in lots of money, and it can push you down a dark road. There's so many honest and good ways to make money. If you're on the right path, there are blessings that are going to come into your life, 100%. But you have to have all those things ticked off: the faith, the relationship, the children, and the business.
Yeah,
you have to have
it all. That's where you really truly have to take inventory. So if you sit down and actually think about, who am I hanging around on a regular basis? Who am I spending my time with besides my family? Who am I spending my time with? Mm-hmm. And where are their goals? Where are they headed? What is important to those people? Because whatever is important to them is at some point you're going to be swayed and is going to be important to you. So if what's important to them is family, marriage, relationships,
yes.
Religion, the things that keep you a good person, then and those same people are educating themselves and continuing to grow and maybe have a business, and so you guys have iron sharpening iron here.
Yes,
two smart people together will tenfold your business together.
And you never age out of growth. Never be too good. Never think you're too good to grow. This is the thing. This is the thing that I've always loved in you and myself and my children and my surroundings, our community. And this is why we built a community where it's not weird. What we're doing is not weird. We're trying to be our very best selves. We're not too proud to say that there is a lot of room for growth, that there's room for growth. And sometimes we need to learn to do things differently. And biblically, it's proven. Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. Corinthians 15:33. The people in your life can either be a source of encouragement or a hindrance to your blessings. That's a scary thought, right? And here's the harsh truth. While you're worried about hurting someone's feelings, because let's be honest, you're going to have to cut people off in life. I've done it many times. And then there's people that, of course, I really wish I could hang out with, but I'm just not close to them. My very best friend. She's just too far away, but she's an amazing mom. She's an amazing wife, and she's got everything going on. So when we do talk, it's like not even a day has gone by and we never put that, you know how there's some friendships where they put this guilt on you, but when we do get to talk, it's just gratitude. We're just
like
so
you just
great.
saw each other yesterday.
Yes, that's exactly what it's like. And
a quick catch up.
And I feel like in mom life, that's the way it is.
And dad life too. If you're not always able to speak to, you know, all your friends, and you know, I always have lifelong friends, and I'll always speak with them. But you know, I remember when I was starting my business, it was so hard in the area that I grew up in to find other mentors or other people that you wanted to surround yourself, and I really had to cut off pretty much everybody I knew. Because
and that's what I
wanted to grow as a person. I want to find new people, people that were that were thinking like myself, thinking bigger than the people around me. And in San Bernardino, where I grew up, there was nobody like that. There was nobody there.
I get it. Or I mean, maybe there was, but you just didn't
Nobody
find the
that
circle.
I could find anyway at that
feel
time.
like I had to leave the area to find what I needed to fulfill my purpose at that time. And then now, again, I feel like we always have to do that inventory. And as I was saying before, sometimes it's hard. You don't want to hurt someone's feelings. But here's the scarier part. They could be sabotaging your destiny. And when you get to heaven, and he says, gosh, I've given you so many blessings, so many miracles, so many opportunities, and you just kept getting pulled back because you didn't step away, right? Yeah. Like the man at the river, he was told to get up and walk. It's to move, to just start that momentum, change the environment so that you could become a different person, because sometimes you just need to change that environment so that the blessings can start flowing into you and into your family, into your friends. So it's just, you feel it. You see the gossip, the negativity, the bad habits that are trying to be normalized. Maybe they're going to the bar, drinking, and, doing these things. You just need to walk away from that. And these influences don't just harm you, but they bleed into every area of your life. Your marriage, toxic influences can weaken trust, erode respect, and shift your priorities away from strengthening your relationship. And that's going to have a ton of weight. It can weaken your marriage, or it can strengthen your marriage, your surroundings. And with your children, negative surroundings, don't think that your kids can't see, because they see and listen to every single thing that you say and do. They're little mirrors. They become you. Negative surroundings model harmful behaviors for your kids, shaping their view of relationships and work ethic and faith. I am so protective of the company that we keep, the way they act, the way they eat, the way they talk. I will definitely censor and keep and our whole community is like that with their kids, because they know children are sponges. And I don't want to mess up the destiny that they have for them. And also your business, being surrounded by those who lack integrity, and they can stunt your ambition. They can just wreck everything that has been planned in aligning with your God-honoring success. And we talked about this a little earlier, but just watch, look around. Don't let the money blind you, because nowadays it really is easy to make money, but I feel like the enemy
I would
makes
say
it
easy
feel...
is the right
no,
word.
but the enemy makes it feel hard. If you surround yourself with the right people, they're going to lift you up and catapult you. They're going to show you different ways and different tactics and different things to do, where some people are like, let's just not even try. Got this steady paycheck, or maybe they're being shady. I don't know exactly what your situation is, but you're gonna, you know right from wrong. You have that.
I feel
intuition.
like if you're the right person, if you're being the person that you're supposed to be, and God will put people in your path. When I was younger and I met my partner, for my tap out partner, Charles, for the first time I ever met him, I just knew that we were going to be friends. And the first time I walked up to meet him, he was reading a Bible. And there was just, and even though we weren't like, it took us a while to really start talking about the Bible. I mean, years. But I just knew he was that when you meet somebody who's reading the Bible the first time you meet him, who's got a family, who has kids, who doesn't drink, who is, whose head's in the right place, who wants to learn, who wants to grow in both faith and as a person, you just know that's the type of people you want to be surrounded with. And when I came in contact with him, I knew that we were gonna grow closer together. And we just continued to talk, and eventually it became, a great friendship. And then ultimately, we started the business together. But those are the type of people you want to find in your life, and you have to put yourself in those places.
Yeah,
you're not going to find them sitting at home. You have to find them in the right places. So that might be at church. That's true.
It's easier now. I feel like that was
true.
maybe
You could
back
run
in the
into
day.
them online,
Exactly.
But I still think
community like our community, we have a big community of like-minded people, and when we vet people and we talk about what goals they have, there's no way we're going to let someone in the circle that just isn't trying to include their family on the ride, that they're just these selfish people that, I just want the best for myself. That's attractive maybe when you're single, but not now. Now we have other people that we need to look out for before we just make a bunch of money, and it's not even about us anymore, really. It's about serving other people. I feel that's what brings me the most joy. That's why I love this podcast. I love serving other people, and I love igniting the belief in I feel like people don't believe in themselves. And if there's something that we together can say to ignite that something within someone out there that's listening right now with the message that we have, and giving them that aha moment and letting them know that they can do amazing things and that they were chosen to do incredible things, and then they share their story later. Like, I love it. I love it. I love helping people. I love pouring into people, and I love sharing my testimony and letting people know that it is possible. When you feel like it's impossible, because I've had a lot of those moments, but then when you share that story and you feel someone light up, and you can bring someone out of the darkness that they're in, and then you see them, I'm getting goosebumps, and you just see them starting to live their best life, and they're going to do great things in the world. There's nothing better than that. I don't want to, I've been on magazine covers, and so have you. I've been ripped and abs and everything. None of that matters. The core is serving others to bring them on the journey and to be better than me.
Well, I think in a lot of ways, though, in some ways, though, don't discount it all, because in some ways it's the full package. You want to, people, you have to be that person. I realize that I talk to so many people that come up to me and want to ask questions about business or how we started our company or whatever. And I'm only in that position. I'm only in that position because I've done what I've done, because we did what we did, because we're People are going to, if they look up to a person who's in great shape or running marathons,
Right.
they're going to come up to them because they've done what they did, because they ran that marathon, because they're in great shape.
Yes.
And I think the extra piece of it is that both you and I feel that being the right person, putting yourself in the right rooms, surrounding yourself with the right people, following faith, that all those things make the full package. Having a
Sure.
family, putting your family first place, putting God first place, puts you in the place where you can help other people.
Right.
Because your head's in the right place. You're giving the right information to these people, the right advice to these people, so that they can walk away with something that can change their life. Because there's so many people out there giving bad advice. I hear it all the time on
Yeah.
Instagram. I listen to some of these people sometimes, and I'm thinking, yeah, that person has never started a business. Oh, yeah, that person's obviously following the wrong God because he's made his God money, or his head's not in the right place, or he's willing to do whatever it takes to make money, including things that he shouldn't be doing. So, you realize that there is a lot of bad information out there.
Sure.
And you have to be in the right place. You have to be putting yourself in the right place so that you can help other people.
Yes, I agree. But I also want to point out that what may have looked like I was in the right place, and I agree that what may have looked like you were in the right place, I know we needed to accomplish certain things, but I feel like a lot of it could have been done differently, because I feel like I couldn't fully step into my destiny while being tied to people pulling me away from it. And I truly feel like I thought I had to go to the gym for hours a day. I thought I had to do all these different things. I was surrounding myself with people that just didn't have the same vision as me. And I know you did too. I know that a lot of times when we would go to these events and stuff, I couldn't wait to leave. Honestly, I couldn't wait to leave. I know that I had to do these appearances, and you're like, well, you just ghosted out again? And I was like, I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there. Like, I know that I have the covers. I have to sign this stuff and sign the magazines. I'm going to go in, I'm going to say hi, and I'm gone. I want to be with my baby. I want to be with you. This isn't my life. And I feel like it took God giving me the diagnosis to just pull me away. And I know it's supposed to feel lonely, and maybe you're being pulled out of a certain situation with illness, or maybe there was a death in the family, or maybe something's going on where you feel really lonely. And I feel like that's just God trying to make you reassess your surroundings and bring you to your God-given calling, because I know that wasn't it. Yes, it's impressive, sure, but I just don't feel like that was my God-given destiny. I feel like this path that I'm on now, this is it. And I feel like it is for you too.
We've gone back and forth about this, because I feel, my personal feeling
you're
about that is...
very proud of your accomplishments.
No, it's
I
not
know
that.
that,
It's
and I
that
understand that. It's very impressive
but that's not
for
what I'm
both
saying.
of us. But we weren't doing things that were... I have to say, like, you weren't an angel. For sure, you weren't an angel.
I get that. But here's what I'm saying
Listen for a second.
Listen for a second.
Listen
for a second. I'm saying that you have to go through some of these. You have
lessons.
You have to go down this path sometimes, and it's all a learning process. You're going through these certain parts of your life that you have to go through. You're sent this way. Sometimes when you climb into the top of the mountain, there's hills, there's harder parts, there's going to be places where things get easier. And I think part of that was all a road that I had to travel to get to where I am today. Because if you're just having a great time and you're always doing the right thing. Not to say that path isn't for certain people.
No, I don't think there's ever going to be just the great time.
No, but there's certain people that are on that path that when you think about, they might have grown up in a church and became a pastor and things, they may have never hit real rocky roads.
I don't know. I don't know anyone that
I needed to go through
hit
certain things to get to where I am. And there's also the fact that people are willing to listen to you because of what you've done.
Yes.
And because of the road that you've traveled.
Yes.
They may not, if you just jumped into this, not to say that you still can't have influence, but if you were to just jump into this and you haven't been down these hard roads before.
You don't have accolades. I get what you're trying to say.
What are you going to teach people?
I get what you're trying to say. And I feel like because you're flawed, you're the best person to talk to. And because I've been flawed, we're the best people to talk to, because that way people don't make mistakes. We can guide people because we've been through certain things in our life. And that's what makes it relatable, where we could see the danger coming towards someone. And we've lived it. We've been through it. We've done it. And we've survived it. As I'm saying, I don't think you're wrong at all. I think that it's...
I just think we were meant to go down that path and to get to where we are today.
Yes.
There's a certain path that you're meant to go down. You couldn't skip. You can't skip those pieces. It's like doing a dot to dot.
Well,
you can't skip certain dots to make this full picture.
As a coach, as a mentor, as someone that's trying to teach others about business and all the things that we're trying to share, that makes sense. Our journey makes sense for this, and to build that community.
It's a journey of growth.
And to take people and hold them accountable. You can't hold someone accountable if you don't see the danger coming towards them. You're you're just numb to it. And if I see a red flag coming towards someone, or they've treated their wife or their husband badly, and I'm not going to stay silent. I'm going to encourage them in a loving way that will hold them accountable so that they could be a better person. That's the person I am today. That's the person I am now. I can see red flags coming in business or whatever it may be.
Right.
I feel like we have that authority.
And in the same respect, it's time right now for everybody who's on this journey, wherever you are in your journey, to take that inventory, to look at where you're going, because we're going into a new year. And in 2025, if you want to make this year your best year, and you're growing as a person, maybe you have a business. I don't know if you have your business, or you're thinking about starting a business, or whatever you're doing. If you're not surrounding yourself with the right people and taking in the right things, and you're not building a life that you're going to be proud of, then you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah. And that's so scary if you're not going to fulfill what your purpose is. And I'm going to go through the 5 things that are red flags. There's a lot more, but I'm just going to talk about this real quick here, because the right people don't just support you, they catapult you toward your God-given destiny. So what could be destroying or holding you back? Well, I would say number 1, toxic relationships. Those are those toxic people that it could be surrounded in whatever environment you're in: gossip, negativity, lack of faith, as Dan, you were saying. It's going to drain your spirit, emotional, and mental energy. Proverbs 13:20, walk with the wise and become wise. Associate with fools and get into trouble. I think that was the one that you pulled up. I just wanted to share that. And number 2, negative habits, obviously. And it's day by day. If you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing, it's never too late to cut these things off. Being around people that normalize harmful behavior, like drinking excessively, cheating, or neglecting their family. You don't want to pull into these same patterns. You want to stay away. So this is one thing that's going to hold you back. Number 3, lack of boundaries. allowing others to dictate your time and priorities. That's just going to sabotage the things around you. It's going to keep you from focusing on what matters most: God, family, and your purpose. And then number 4, a distracting environment. Be careful of that. Spending times with those that don't align with your faith and values, it's going to derail you and your focus. Psalms 1:1, blessed is the one who does not walk in step with the wicked. Right?
Yeah.
Now, and then number 5, a fear of change, staying in an unhealthy relationship out of guilt or fear. And we talked about this. This is just summarizing quickly for you guys. Don't be afraid of breaking those chains. They're chains. It's holding you back. It only prolongs the pain and keeps you from your God-given destiny, the blessings that God has prepared for you. So nothing is scarier than that. Hurting their feelings or hurting your blessings that God has prepared for you.
Yeah, sometimes these
frankly.
people too show up and they really want the best for you, So it's hard to decipher, who you're speaking with or who they are in your life. But
I think you feel it. You got to pray about it.
No, you do.
Because we're going to get into the tactical
But I think
stuff.
it a lot of times,
Yeah.
and sometimes they're worried about you. But if you convey your ideas and where your head's at, and see if they're on board. You can kind of feel out whether someone's on board with you, if they're behind you once you explain, because you may be married, and this happens in a lot of cases. I've come across this so many times where I speak to somebody and they're saying, yeah, but my wife is this, or my wife's not letting me do that, or my wife's saying this to me, or she's telling me if I do this, she's going to leave me. Sometimes you have to sit down and have an honest conversation with them, because those are boundaries too.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I understand that maybe you're a little scared or you're worried that this isn't going to work out, but here's what if you explain the process and you include them in the process, you can find that if you're on that path together, that someone's less likely to be, give you so much pushback.
Yeah, I think that's so sad, because I feel like as a spouse, we want to be seeing the gift that our spouse has within them and to push them to their God-given destiny, because I see the purpose in you. And sometimes I feel like you're not pursuing the great things and this isn't, I feel like as wives or husbands, you see it in your wives and it's like, gosh, she's just settling and she's just being mediocre, where she has this bright light within her. And if she just started speaking to the world or to the people around her, she can literally change lives. And it's hard because sometimes we get influenced to just have a 9-to-5, just do this simple job because it's safe, but they don't see the blessing on your life. Your spouse should see the blessing on your life and push you. Come on, let's go. We got lives to change. We've got things to do. Get up. You just fell down. Get up. Let's go. Hold their hand, pull them. Like, the other people will not see the blessing that you have on your life. I see it. I'm your wife. You see it in me. And it's like, get up. Let's go. Let's do this thing. People may think that our podcast is stupid, but I know the lives that it's touching. You know the lives that it's touching, but people don't see the blessing on your life unless they're meant to see it. And that's the thing. That's why you need to surround yourself with the people that are not going to push you to mediocrity or average and just push you to your God-given destiny. Not just push you, but catapult you. Those are the friends you need. Those are the spouses you need. And have the conversation. Like, what do you think is the blessing on my life? What experiences did I go through that I have a testimony in me? What did we go through together? Because it's a simple story and I love it. I can't wait. Actually, I have some exciting news, but this year, we're going to be doing some interviews. And I told the producers, like, I miss this so much because I know they're focusing on Dan and I because it's really growing the show. I think we're just at top 3. Usually we're top 5.
Yep, we're just
and we're
at
at
top
top
3.
3. But it's like, okay, so let's get this thing going. And then let's bring the spotlight on these couples that have had marriages that were deteriorating, or they've faced illness or death or whatever they've faced. They have these stories that they need to share. And because now we're at this level that it's going to get them the ears that need to hear their story. Dang, I just went went off topic because we're about to get in the tactical steps of how to start today, how to start this blessing. We were talking about the blessing on your life where people are pulling you, no, don't do that. You're being too loud. You're sharing, don't share your story. Share the story. Give them the testimony because they need to hear it. They need to hear it because they're going through. You have the map. You've done it. You've done it. You have the guide. You need to help people. This is our obligation because when we get to heaven, we're going to be asked, did you share it? I gave you the healing. I gave you the miracle.
Yeah, but I put all this stuff in front of you and you didn't take it and run with it.
Yeah. Yes. So anyway, these are the things. You see the blessing. Find the blessing in your friends. Point out the blessings in your friends. They don't hear it every day. Tell your wife, tell your husband.
What are the first tactical tips that people can do?
Well, number 1, evaluate your circle. Write down the names of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Are they building you up or holding you back? Be honest. Proverbs 27:17, as you said before, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. That's number 1. Number 2, set boundaries and with love. You don't have to be mean about it. You set boundaries with love. I've had to break up with friends, and I was very honest. It was a hard conversation. They were crying. I was crying, but we both knew we were not on the same path anymore, and it wasn't healthy. And I couldn't be friends with. I love them from far, but we can't hang out anymore. We're on different paths. So reduce time spent with those who drain you and prioritize faith-filled, supportive relationships. The right people will uplift your marriage, encourage your parenting, and cheer you on your purpose.
Yeah, most likely those are people that are in this, value the same things that you do, like your family, or it's sometimes, it's like, not that you can't be friends with people that don't have a family or that aren't married. I'm not saying you can't. I'm saying you might golf with them or something, but here's the truth.
I think they said
if that person doesn't value what you have going on in your life and they are pulling you in another direction, then you're just waiting for
you'll know. Are they talking about your spouse? This is how I know. When my people, and I don't have these people in my life anymore, but they just used to ask me about myself and talk about themselves. They never asked about you. They never asked about my kids. I didn't feel any kind of passion about you. They just wanted to hang out with me, just me. And they wanted me to leave my kids somewhere. And I just knew that it doesn't excite me.
So we can go to Vegas.
Yeah, that doesn't excite me. I love my husband. I love my kids. Now, with our community, they love their spouses and they love their kids. So they want to pour greatness into their children. They want to pour greatness into their spouse. It's not just about them and building whatever their ego-driven thing is going on anyway. Number 3, create a new routine. Join a faith-based community. Attend church regularly. If you can't do that, if you're not well, I know we have a lot of people that are fighters and warriors out there. Attend it online. I'm not ashamed to say it. I've done that a lot. And you can still worship within the walls of your home with your family. God sees it. God sees what you got going on in your heart. And sometimes you got to protect your immunity. I'm sorry to say, but you do. You have to protect yourself. You have to protect your life. Those little ones need you. And take part in Bible study at home or in groups. Surround yourself with people who inspire you to walk with God and encourage strong marriages and values. family values. Number 4, pursue your God-given goals. Start small and commit to daily steps, whether improving your marriage, spending intentional time with your kids, because I know you guys are building great things out there. And don't forget to pour into your kids. What are their passions? You can get the little sparks. What are they gifted with? It's amazing. You know, you and I looking at the videos today of the little ones, and we saw Daniel was always going to be a speaker, but we didn't quite understand it or know it. But he's memorizing stuff and reading these books. He's flipping through these empty pages. I even
forgot, I caught a video of me doing, and I know you did it too, but we were doing, I was doing affirmations with Destiny, and I was like, she was like 2 years old there. You know, I forget that we were doing that, but
I did it while they were in my belly.
Of course. I think about those moments, but like,
you forget it until you see it.
Until I saw it on video.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, they're so young. But it was a part of our everyday thing. And then, of course, growing a business that honors God. Just building a business the right way. Number 5, and this is my favorite one, pray for guidance and strength. I've watched my mother do it. And my mother always got the answers. She believed in angels when I didn't quite yet. A lot of miracles happened in her life, and I'm so glad that they did, because it opened me up to the fact that miracles can happen in my life, and they did. And we even witnessed that together. So ask God to show you what's holding you back and giving you the courage to step into relationships and habits that align with his plans for you. That's so exciting. Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. And that's where it ends. But it begins. This is the year that it begins.
This is it. 2025, guys. I think it's going to be a huge year for all of us, for us too. And we're excited about growing our podcast, growing our community.
Serving
everything is fun to us. Daniel's growing, Destiny's growing in so many ways. It's fun watching them grow, and hear Daniel talk about what he wants to do in his life. And so all that is exciting. You guys are going to do big things this year, and we're excited for you. And we're excited to hear from you, too. If you have something on your mind, something that your big, audacious goal for 2025, why don't you leave it in our comments so we can check it out, and we'll hold you accountable.
Yes, and just remember, reinvention isn't just about making resolutions. It's about aligning your life with God's purpose and the right people that strengthen your marriage, inspire your parenting, and push your business towards success, letting go of people or habits that don't align with his plans.
Like Daniel said at the top of the hour, you are the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with.
Yes.
Take that to heart.
Yes. Start stepping towards the abundant life that God has created for you.
Okay, guys. Thank you guys for listening to this week's Pretty and Punk podcast and this New Year's edition. We can't wait to hear some of your goals for next year, and let's make 2025 the best year ever.
Yes. What's one step you'll take today to align yourself with God's purpose? Let's grow together. We love you guys. See you next week. God bless.
Next week.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Pretty and Punk podcast. Make sure to never, ever take this day for granted. This year is going to be the beginning of your best life. God bless. Thank you for listening to Pretty and Punk on the Parent Podcast. You're going to have a blessed year. I can feel it. Now share this episode with all your friends. And give us 5 stars. This will really help us grow and get out to the people who need to hear this. We love you. Thank you for your support. Have a great day and a great year.